Dramatic happened. Payments were delayed, not refused. Conversations grew heavier, not authority. Many chose enforcement. From their perspective, compromise risk becomes identity. Identity is powerful. When tenants began identifying not just to assert control, the more obvious it became that their control required constant, exhausting. Some landowners privately questioned their own approach, but refused to show any public uncertainty. Have you ever wondered why, for thousands of years, owning land was the ultimate symbol of power? And how that power seems to be shifting right under our feet? Today, we're diving deep into the epic saga of landowners versus tenants, a story that's been unfolding since the dawn of civilization. Back in feudal times, it was simple. The king owned everything. He granted land to lords who then allowed peasants to work it in exchange for loyalty, crops, and military service. In this world, the landowner was king, and the tenant had virtually no rights. Your entire life, from where you lived to who you married, could be dictated by the person who owned the ground you stood on. Power was absolute, physical, and tied directly to the soil. Then came the Industrial Revolution. Cities exploded, and a new kind of tenant emerged, the factory worker. People flocked to urban centers, desperate for housing. This created a new power dynamic. Landowners, now landlords, controlled the essential resource of shelter. They could charge exorbitant rents and evict people on a whim. Think of the grim tenement houses of the 19th century. The power was still heavily skewed, but a subtle change was happening. Tenants were no longer just isolated farmers. They were now neighbors, sharing a collective experience and, soon, a collective voice. This is where things get interesting. The 20th century saw the rise of tenant rights movements. People started demanding better living conditions, fair rent, and protection from arbitrary eviction. Governments began to step in, introducing regulations like rent control, safety standards, and formal eviction processes. The absolute power of the landlord was being chipped away, piece by piece. The law was starting to recognize that a home is more than just property. It's a fundamental human need. Now, fast forward to today, the digital age. The game has changed again. The internet and platforms like Airbnb have introduced new complexities. A landlord might not even live in the same country as their property. On the other hand, tenants have unprecedented tools. A single bad review online can tank a landlord's reputation. Tenant unions use social media to organize rent strikes and protest unfair practices, mobilizing hundreds of people in hours. Information, which was once a closely guarded secret of the powerful, is now democratized. A tenant can easily look up property values, rental laws, and a landlord's history. So, where does the power lie now? It's no longer a simple pyramid with the landowner at the top. It's more like a complex web. Landowners still hold the crucial asset, the property itself. That's a powerful card to play. But tenants now have the power of community, information, and public opinion. They can leverage technology and legal frameworks to fight back in ways that were unimaginable a century ago. The power hasn't vanished. It has been redistributed and eroded. It's become a constant negotiation, a push and pull between the age-old power of ownership and the modern power of the collective. This evolution from serf to digital activist shows that power is never permanent. It's always in flux, constantly being challenged and redefined. What do you think the future holds for this relationship? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this journey through history, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content.